So we're back again, episode 5, with this beautiful lady, June.
Hello.
You know, she's gonna take me to go get some food at Whole Foods, and we're gonna chop it up and talk about what's going on in life, what's going on in her life. We're gonna touch what's going on in the new generation, what's going on with these young men and young women, and we'll see. Can you introduce yourself to the audience?
Hello, I'm June. I am 23. I'm a model, and
I forgot beautiful model. I didn't add that.
No, it's okay. Sometimes that doesn't need to be the first impression,
Okay. She's 23 years old and she's a model. She lives in California.
Since I was 4.
Since she was 4. What do you think about California? Do you like Cali?
I love Cali. It definitely gets tiring. I feel like it's nice to have breaks from it.
Okay.
But at the same time, there's nowhere else I would rather be, so.
Okay, same here.
Yeah.
So when you do have break, where do you want to be at, or where do you usually go?
Somewhere. None of my family lives here except my mom.
Oh, okay.
So I have family in Florida, New Orleans. So definitely, I mean, anywhere else you go is pretty much slower paced, but it's just nice to
be different,
have a break from the chatter. I feel like LA is a lot going on all the time, and if you're a sensitive person, it can get overwhelming, I feel.
Are you sensitive?
Definitely.
Okay. So what can you give me a little bit update of what chat or what kind of sensitivity that goes around in LA that gets you offended as far as being a young lady and being a model? That other cities that you could be yourself and feel okay rather than LA?
Well, I feel like in other cities, people are just living their lives and they're in their own bubble. And of course they have, their own societal things that they're worried about. But I feel like in LA, everything is just like magnified. Like you are put in boxes, I feel like. I don't know, just people just want to categorize you, and everything is just like so much attention to everything all the time, where I feel like in other places, people are just living their life, and maybe they're also more of like observers as well, like they're kind of watching behind the scenes.
Do you feel that is because of the career that you pick as an entertainer, as a model, that because this is Hollywood, California, that's the attention that you're gonna get, and people seem to want to know what's going on because because you are an entertainer, so people want to know what's going on. This entertainer looks excited, what are they doing, how they doing it, or whatnot. Rather than if you picked any other job, maybe people won't pay attention or won't even care about.
That's true. I feel like it's a blessing and a curse.
Okay.
I think no matter what. Well, another element to it is social media as well. Like, I feel like people can have any different job, but on social media, if you're active and present, then it's also just going to be another thing. But definitely, my career plays a big part in that. But at the same time, it seems like that's everyone in LA is doing that. Modeling. I want to be in the spotlight.
So that's what I'm saying. So is it? Let's make a left on the next line. Sorry. So what I'm saying is because of what everybody's trying to do, that's why they feel that their space is being invaded. But realistically, you want your space to be invaded because you're putting out information for people to know what you're doing and how you're doing it, and trying to get the center of attention as an entertainer.
Honestly, I don't even necessarily feel that my space is being invaded because I'm a
Okay.
very private person,
Okay.
and I am trying to like step out and be more open and show myself. But I think just witnessing everyone else, it feels like sometimes you can't go back from once you have like the spotlight, then it's just permission into your personal life.
Correct.
But when I'm talking about sensitive, I just mean like the chatter. Do you get what I'm saying?
What's chatter?
Just like, sorry, 1 second. I could have gone. It's fine. I have precious cargo in the car.
Chatter as far as what? Just people talking about you, or people want
It's
to know your
like-
business?
These societal norms, I guess. Like it just, I don't know, it's hard to describe. I think it's not just LA, but
I mean, I think that what people get confused is people only have a chatter or talk about other people that have valuable things going on in their life, or they feel intrigued about. That's the only reason. I will say, if you were just a common, normal person and nobody cared and you weren't doing much of your life, or you were just like a bum, nobody would be chatting about you. So actually, I think it's a privilege. If people are chatting about you, it means that you're doing
I
something
agree.
right.
I definitely agree.
You know?
Am I straight?
Yeah, go straight.
I think what I mean is it's when you are like in social media in LA, just involved in everything, it just seems like there's just certain ways of life, there's certain social norms that I don't personally align with, like normalizing just like this toxic type of mentality, like using people. Like I feel like that's the culture, and that's what gets me overwhelmed. Like women using men for money, or men using women for their looks, or just people having interactions based on strictly transactional. And I feel like that's a big part of the culture. And that's when I get like, I like genuine human interaction and just like more simplicity sometimes, but being here, it just feels like you can't escape it.
Well, with the career you pick, I don't think there's any simplicity in that career, because you are a center of, people looking at, beautiful young lady, you have a social media, and I would assume you don't put ugly pictures on it, and you show doing nice things and whatnot. So it's almost like somebody going to the movie theater and watching a movie, and he paid for an action movie, and it turns out to be some comedy. They'll be talking shit, because this is action movie. This is what we came to watch. That's the show that you gave. Like, just like my career, if I picked to be a doctor, then I'll be expected for a client to be calling me, hey, how am I feeling? I need this. What's going on? Whatnot. But the field I picked, that's the industry. That's what I'm gonna get, basically. Because I think I understand exactly what you're saying. That it's a little bit different in LA, because, like I said, everybody in LA is trying to be somebody. Which is understandable, because this is a city of Hollywood. This is what we build of movies and dreams and whatnot. People, being overnight success and whatnot. So those artificial attributes is definitely here.
I think it's about finding the balance, right? And just because I'm a model and I'm in a certain industry, does that mean that I have to live a certain life?
Right.
I think everything is about what you make it, and I think what I'm learning right now is I want to try to create my own space within what I want to do.
Correct.
So I think, and I do, like, I feel like the conversations I have, the interactions I have recently have been like very genuine, because underneath it all, like even talking to you, there's a deeper connection that can be made.
Correct.
And I just feel like that's not highlighted very much in the media, and I do want to try to create, like, at least for myself, like that own space where I do have these genuine interactions, and it can be transactional, but mutually beneficial as well, not just like using, but like helping each other.
Yeah, I mean, we all want value. I mean, nobody wants to deal with anybody if they can't get value from them or they can't give value to. You know what I mean? You don't want to deal with no useless person. I don't want to deal with no useless person. A useless person even want value. So the transaction of that's saying that people want to know what you could give or what I could give. I kind of understand. Maybe sometimes it's overdone, which is that's what you're talking about. That people overdoing it, but in reality, I mean, I don't care which part of the world you are. If you step foot in presence of people and you have value, people demand value back, and people are looking forward to get that back if they're given value. You know what I mean? They just like celebrities. A lot of celebrities get a lot of free stuff. Sorry, I gotta make it right.
I'll try.
Yeah, try. If you don't, you could go straight and figure it out. A lot of celebrity gets a lot of free stuff that they could pay for.
I know.
Not necessarily because, you know, they're broke or anything, because they're celebrity. And the people that are giving the free stuff, they're not stupid. They're giving the free stuff because they know what value the celebrity has to give. Maybe celebrity might be able to promote their business, and they might gain clients to pay for the free stuff that they just give the celebrity and more. So it's like kind of like you said, like a transaction, but a selective transaction of who you are going to give that value to and who you're going to look for to give back that value. You know what I mean? And I think it all depends on what field you in. You just gotta know how to maneuver. And I think what people get it confused, for me at least, that's just my opinion, people get it confused. And LA people are very simple, you know. Because we understand our people, we understand what goes on, we understand, you know, the palm trees there, we understand the flashiness or whatever, we understand it. So most of the time it's people from out of town,
I agree,
that get it confused of what is going on and how these people are fake. We're not fake, this is norm, this is our norm. We're not being fake, we're being real. And our real is that, hey, if you have this and I have this, if I'm giving you this, you better give me this, or I'm looking forward to give this. And if you ain't giving, I'm not wasting my time, I'm moving forward. That's not being fake, that's just being honest. This is the life. And you know, and the people that live in LA understand that. But the out of towners people that come in, and you know, I mean, they come into LA for value themselves. They're not coming to LA just to hang out. Most people that come from out of town, they come to LA to make money, to take advantage, you know,
for
opportunities. So do we say that those out of towners are users and opportunists? You understand what I'm saying? Because they're coming for value, you know. So it's like I said, I understand exactly what you're saying about, you know, people viewing into your life, or people want to be nosy, people want to be extra and all that, but it comes with the platform, basically. If you never had an Instagram, I bet you nobody know nothing about you.
Yeah.
If I never had nobody know anything, you could be a model and they'll still not know who you are. Only your clients that you book the jobs with. So like I said, everything we choose to want that platform, and that platform that gives us maybe a little excitement, give us a little entertainment, but you giving something to get something taken away from you. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get that platform and everything is gonna be holy and you're gonna get all the benefit and you're gonna still have your privacy and still gonna get, no. Once you open that platform, you lost all your privacy.
I agree.
Yeah, so it's like we can't have our cake and eat it too. So,
no one said it's easy though.
Yeah, it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's hard. So it's like you just got to make a decision of which route that you want to go. And once you pick a route, you just got to stay consistent and stay strong and know that this is what I'm doing. And, you know, I just got to deal with the consequence that comes along, and I'll deal with what I'm going to take and what I'm not going to take. And what I'm going to deal with, I want to do. And, you know, that's about it. But if you want that to completely not be a thing, you just got to cut it off.
Yeah. I think for me, I don't know. I feel like it's always been a thing. Even me being private, I just think that's comes with the territory. But it is essential, I think, to take time to recharge if that's what you need, or there's a lot of celebrities that take detoxes, because you have to come back to yourself. I think sometimes what you're saying is absolutely true. Like, being transactional isn't always bad, and we're here to share. I have value, what I can give to you, vice versa. But I think you have to be rooted in like the why of like, because if I don't know, it can become a very slippery slope of just using people.
Yeah.
Like, I think you have to be grounded in yourself and be.
I mean, you just gotta
purpose.
You just gotta realize and just pick your battles, and just know what is actually value and what is actually just being abuse of value or going to the extreme. You know what I mean? You just gotta know, and you just gotta balance and what makes you grounded. You know what I mean? You can't just go in and just do what other people are doing, or weaving into the vacuum of the nonsense. It's just everybody got to find what works for them, basically. If you try something and it's too much pressure for you, you back off a little bit. You go try something else. But if you try something that's too much pressure, but at the same time you get in this value and you're doing this and you feel like you could handle it, you keep on going. Nobody's gonna stop you. But the ultimate is yourself. You have the power to pull out or to pull in. So I think the distraction of feeling that people are being nosy, or people get into your business, or people, that's their problem. I feel they're taking their energy and weaving into somebody else's business, whilst you successfully doing what you're doing, and minding your business. The other day I almost posted this post that said, my friend sent to me, and it said something like something about my haters. I'm glad that you guys say haters.
Is it in here?
Yeah, it's in here. Go up. There you go. Jeez, you got it. Turn. It says, I'm glad that you guys say haters. Wait till the second episode and you guys could watch the show. Something like that. My friend had on this post. What are you trying to do? Park over there?
Know. Yeah, I'm gonna go over there.
You can walk right here too.
I can do it right here.
It's a big space.
Right here.
And her driving it's okay. I'm not fully complaining yet, but it's doing what it needs to do.
I feel like I get nervous when I feel like my driving is gonna be judged.
Get out of here. You're not being judged. I feel
like normally I drive a little more confidently, but it's fine.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about your driving.
I know, but they put the bad juju talking about you have your rosary ready.
Yeah, that's those guys. That's those guys. But all right, so we're gonna take a break, because who says I was hungry? We're gonna grab some
recharge,
come back, and we're gonna talk. We're gonna give the floor to her. And what were you saying?
We were talking about how women mature earlier than men, and how sometimes an age gap is necessary.
Because I feel 10 years age gap for men and women should always be, because I feel like women mature faster than men. So if a woman is 25, her man got to be 35, because if they're both 25, and some young men are mature, but if they're both 25, it's hard for the man to catch up to the goals and the things that the woman want to do. Because at 25, a man's still trying to play and try to bullshit. Some women at 25 are actually ready to settle down, have kids, have a career, you know, be independent and do all that. And 25, some young men are still trying to find themselves, you know. And so I was telling her that I think for a woman and a man to be successful in a relationship or to think the same, you got to give a gap of 10 years in between. The man got to be 10 years at least older than the woman, you know, because
I definitely agree, but I do think it's like based on what each individual wants, because I think there's a lot of men, you can be 20 years older than me, but then you still want to not settle down, you still want your freedom, and you still want to do what you were doing when you were 25. Like I feel like a lot of men want to live like they're 25 forever.
Of course we do want to live like 25,
which I personally don't like. I get it, but at the same time I feel like as you grow, you mature, and you like want to start living. I mean,
and is this the difference? There's a man that wants to live like they're 25, and there's men that mature, that are older but still have a heart over 25. That's totally different, because every man wants to be young, just like I mean women want to be young also at the same time, but actually acting like a 25, meaning that if you're a grown-ass man, you have a family, you're married, and you're home, and you over there want to go clubbing and go cheating and do that kind of nonsense, that's a little bit off, I think, as you want to be a 25. You want to be a 25 as a 25 heart of, you know, you feeling like you want to be alive and you want to stay young and stay active or whatnot. That's understandable, but all the extraness, I think, because
I think everyone's like life goals are different.
Correct.
But I do think a lot of people, and I do think it's human nature to want to like build a family and like grow and pass down, have a lineage that you're proud of, and want to pass down wealth or whatever it may be. But I feel like now that's just not the norm. Is to be separated. The norm is to like just have kids and be very selfish, do what you want to do for you because you want to do it, men and women as well. But I feel like we're creating this pattern of like, I guess, broken home, or just like not togetherness. So
that's
then when
society.
your kids go, then your kids are gonna not have a example of like what a healthy committed relationship looks like, and then they're gonna keep going on with that cycle. And I do think there's nothing wrong with, you know, wanting to live like you're 25 forever, but I think at a point, if everyone's doing that, we're perpetuating this cycle that is just no one's building together. Do you get what I'm saying? And I feel like that makes me worried for our future, because I want to, down the line, I want to, like you said, I'm young right now, and so my objective is to be filling my cup, growing, learning, having these experiences. But I do ultimately want what I'm doing in my relationships to be meaningful, and to be able to build something that's sustainable for my lifetime and for the future. But I don't think anyone is thinking about the future. They're just thinking about what they want to do right now.
I think a lot of people think about future, but the society has made it, and I think it's women also that have made these men be so soft and so, you know, have so much option that it doesn't matter what they do. And I think, and I've had this conversation with a lot of my adult friends, girls or whatnot, and they've said the same thing. They say, yeah, they understand. They blame themselves, because I feel like.
What do you mean?
Meaning that you have these foolish young men out here that do a lot of foolish stuff, you know, but they're only able to do those foolish stuff because
the enablers.
There's others that say, hey, if your girlfriend is not gonna want you to do it, but you could come over here. I'll do this for you.
I think everything's a choice, though.
Yes.
For the women, I think women definitely enable that behavior, but men, no one's forcing you to do that. You have to.
Of
everything
course.
is about, even as a woman,
Yes.
right? There's lots of temptation, and I'm constantly being, there's options of different people, different opportunities, different experiences always being thrown at me, but it's a conscious choice that I make to live by my values and my morals and what I want to do.
But your conscious choice as a woman directly to a man is totally different from that conscious choice of as a man, because like you said, there's more women that could go out to have sex than there's men that could go out to go have sex.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
You're saying like a girl can go always find someone, a guy might not be able
to find somebody. So meaning that.
But I feel like you were saying nowadays, I'm not saying.
But nowadays it only it only makes nowadays it only happens to successful men. Do you get my point? It only happens to the level of successful men. There's so many women that are willing to do anything, to give anything to whoever, like a basketball player or a musician or whatever, do whatever and anything for that man that maybe his girlfriend or his wife might think that, yo, this is rubbish, I don't want to do that. But another lady say, hey, F your wife, I'll do it. Another lady to stick out. There'll be 10 women ready to push that, in his face.
Yeah.
And it's he could say he could hold it, but it's the temptation of 10 women pushing that to his face as a young man, and he has no experience.
Well, what about like quality?
Quality. People don't. If it was quality, people wouldn't be on Instagram. There's no quality. The generation is so messed up.
I agree.
See, exactly. So that's what's moving these men, this new generation called men, to do what they're doing. Because he picks up this phone. This is like Insta charts or Insta fucking shopping for women.
I know.
So ain't like 20 years ago or whatnot that, but for me to talk to a woman, I have to actually walk over to her, talk to her, get her number, trying to, woo her.
I think that's definitely a problem. Even aside from the men and women thing, I think like human interaction in general is not the same, and we have to go to the phones because we feel alone. And that's the only way we can connect with people, because we don't just walk outside and talk to our neighbors and do anything.
Talk to strangers or whatnot. Or,
so I feel like it's created for that, because it's...
People don't even talk. Even on the phone, they don't even talk. Now you have to send a text. People, something that you could pick up the phone and say 1, 2, 3. Now motherfuckers will just send you a text and keep on sending you a text. Why is they not doing anything? They might be in the room by themselves, but they still rather text you than have a conversation, But I think that's why everything you're saying is so normalized. It's because we're desensitized, because you're not seeing always how people are being affected by things in person. It's just everything is through this screen. So it's like a barrier almost. Correct.
And so whatever you do, it feels like no consequences.
And you don't even know what the people you're talking to, what they experience, because you can't see them, or you can't even hear the voice. So sometimes that's how people get confused and get fighting with other people, because all you're doing is texting, and when you're texting, it's so confusing. Somebody might be saying something that you might misunderstand what they're saying, because you're not getting the body language, especially you're not hearing their voice. You might think somebody's mad when they're not mad. You know what I mean? But if you're talking to the person, you hear from their voice. So you hear, if you see in person, you see their body language is telling you, oh, go left or go right. But all you're doing is just texting. It's like communicating with a computer. So it's kind of hard. So all these things makes society and the generation all effed up, because everybody is doing something else. Nobody's really interacting. Nobody's really, engaging in each other, like that. It's like...
But at the same time, this is why I understand what you're saying by, you can go on the phone and have all these options and everything, but at the end of the day, it's a conscious choice to continue to live that way.
Yeah,
and if people don't want to do it, they don't want to do it.
No, the conscious choice to live that way, but if you've been programmed 24, just like slavery, it was a conscious choice for these people, some of them, to be able to run away. But because you've been brainwashed and the master has scared you so much all the time, brainwashed, sometimes you feel like if you can't run away from your master.
But it
and
takes
some of them,
one
they were,
person,
it takes one.
And then another person. And
Exactly,
then another person.
exactly.
So I feel like myself, I am able to see this.
Yeah,
I am
it's great.
living in this generation, and I think that's why I kind of view things the way I do, because I'm able to. I am a young girl in LA. All of the everything is presented to me, and I have had many choices, and I continue to choose to live in alignment with what I believe is right. And a lot of people don't have that, and that's weakness, I think. But I think the more we talk about it and the more we stop normalizing certain things, the more people will really think. But if you're just programmed, you're not going to think about it. So that's why I think talking about it on podcasts or just calling it out, I don't think it's going to change like that, but I think people will start to realize like this stuff actually is not healthy.
Yeah, apart from calling out, I think that women like yourself, young women, should have a group and should have some kind of women chat, connect, and start talking about these stuff and stop making a pact, meaning that, we are not going to give ourselves up like the rest of these foolish young ladies doing, because that means that we telling the man that this is okay. If they can't get it together with us, they're gonna go somewhere else, and they have options. If the pack keep on growing, it's like a kid. It would slowly but surely teach them, like, hey, you don't do that, because you know that if you go there, you're gonna get smacked. But if you know that if you go there, you're not gonna get smacked, you could do this, you could do that. It's harder for that cycle, for that, for you to get that impact of them being actually following that good path. You know what I mean? I mean, they're strong.
It's both, though. Just how you say the women are enabling, men are enabling, right? The women, a lot of women, I don't agree with like the things I agree with what you're saying, but I don't agree with like, a lot of how a lot of women operate. I don't think it's beneficial for themselves or, people's relationships and whatnot. But at the same time, I do sympathize, because I've seen myself, a lot of women go from having intentions, having morals, having values, like being a caring, nurturing person, but then they get hurt. Then they keep putting their faith and hope into men, and then a lot of them don't have the strength to uphold these morals and values anymore, because it doesn't seem like it's benefiting them. But
who did those men share those values? Who do those men hurt them with? Other women.
But the man still made their choice.
They made their choice, but that's what I'm telling you. The women
I'm not in a relationship with these other women.
Of course you're not in a relationship. Neither is the men either. But what I'm saying is that women have the stronger upper hand than men, than anything. Women control, or they're supposed to be able to control how men think. I mean, it's been like that. Men that's programmed, just like how we had the conversation saying that men lack 10 years, back from a woman. When a woman is 25, it's like she's 35 for a man. And that's how our DNA is built. So just the same, like I said, women have more power than men. Women have control. These men that go out to do what they do, for them to even buy a nice car, to buy a nice house, to buy a nice watch, to want to come out, they don't do it for themselves. Men don't care less about that. They do it for women. So that's what I'm saying. Women are like the parent.
I agree.
That,
I can't speak for those women, but I can speak for myself. And in my personal experience, I have done the best I can to live according to my values and to do what I want to do. But I've had thoughts at times, it feels like a battle, because everything is being put against you.
It is a battle.
I want to be nurturing, I want to be caring, I want to be my best self, I want to trust, I want to you know, give people the benefit of the doubt. I want to have genuine intentions. But when you do all of that time and time again, and people still give you reasons to be disappointed, I understand why women turn to the way they are. It takes a lot of strength to stay like this, and I do think it's the same, not the same, but with men as well.
Women be doing a lot of shady stuff over and over, and sometimes some men they feel like, damn, if I be a good guy, I get effed. You know what I'm saying? I get taken advantage. So why do I want to be a good guy? Because a good guy is a weak guy. That's how society's putting it.
It's not true, but you're right.
Yeah, it's not true, but that's what society, and we live in society. We don't live by ourselves.
Quite the opposite. I think what's weak, it's easy to go on Instagram or go and do this or do that instant gratification. It's weak to not live by who you are inside.
Of course, we everybody know what is good for them. Just like you make a decision of if I'm going to eat that hamburger or I'm going to eat that salad. We all know we take that soda when we go out and we drink that alcohol.
And that's
or you
all
smoke.
we do.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But we still make that conscious decision to do. But if those things are not so much in our face, we will make other decisions to try not to do it. Do you understand? It's just like kids. If you put candy in front of kids all the time, you make it available all the time, even though the kids have their own to decide, hey, I'm not going to eat the candy, sooner the kids going to be grabbing that candy and eating all the freaking time because the candy is available. Even though you tell the kid, don't have no freaking candy all the time. I don't want you to have a candy, but you sprinkle, you have a thought, right? You sprinkle the candy in front of them all the time, you know what I mean? In their face and wherever they are. Of course they're gonna eat, you know, and grab a piece of that candy. But if those candies are not available around all the time, okay, they only see that candy here one time, it's not in their face, they're more than likely,
but guess what?
They're gonna be,
if you keep going for the candy, there's gonna be a lot of market for the candy. The candy's gonna keep coming.
Yeah, so don't put the candy out there.
It's both.
Yeah, it's both, but the candy is the bait.
If no one's taking the bait is gonna go away over time.
But how you decide for nobody? We're humans. That's how we're built. Our DNA. Our humans. Jingle, 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 jingle. And if it looks good and it feels good, how do you smell food? How do you know it's a good food?
It tastes good.
Apart from tasting, before you put it in your mouth,
smells good.
It smells good. You smell cookies. You smell it's the bacon cookie. We're human. That's what we have all this sense in our body that sense things. You understand what I'm saying? So obviously it's hard for us because we're built like that. That when we smell that cookie, damn, what's that smell? It smells good. Somebody put on a nice cologne, you be, baby girl, you smelling good.
No one said it was easy.
Exactly. So it's if it's not available at all, if you don't keep on throwing
it's
people, it's easy.
Be there.
It's always gonna be. But the only way for it to be, the only way for people to resist it, or people to be conditioned to resist it, if they are not thrown in their face all the time. Because like I said, some people are gonna be able to say, no matter what, throw in my face, I don't care. Like me, I don't drink, I don't smoke, and I've never had my whole life. All my friends do all kinds of shit. I'm around it 24/7. But it doesn't change who I am to do it. But some people, no matter what, some people that are like me, if you have it consistently around them, all of a sudden they start doing it. And I have no friends that have.
But also,
yeah,
if you, it sounds to me like you are kind of placing the blame on women.
No, I'm not placing the blame on women.
And I think it's both.
I think it's both, but I think that the women have more power.
But if you're constantly putting yourself in, like, I think a lot of men don't think that there's like good women anymore, right? Which I understand, because what's promoted through the media is not like, what's promoted and shown to us is the temptation, it's the candy, it's the broken homes, it's the, but that's because that's what is profitable, and that's what gets the clicks. But you're not seeing, oh, let's celebrate 50 years of marriage from so and so. So that's one level, right? It's always going to be put in our faces through social media for a reason.
And in reality, it's putting your face through reality. Most women, most young people, they're not gonna say, hey, let's just go to the park and hang out. You have a date right now, young lady, be like, oh, what restaurant are we going to? What are we gonna be eating? Can we go to this place? Can we go to this place? That's the first thing. Young lady and be like, oh, let's just go to McDonald's, let's go to the park and go eat McDonald's at the park and fall in love. No, it does not happen. I mean, we are all a victim of this bullshit. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like, but like I go back again, like I said, men, like I'm saying, we are built as men as we follow women. Our drive, it goes harder for our women and our family.
There's a lot of women, and there's a lot of, like, all of my friends are working on themselves, are building themselves. They're in school, they're getting their master's degree, they're doing a lot of things. There's a lot of women that I know. Most of the women I know that I don't see on social media, just that I know personally, are not like that. But if you're putting yourself in these positions, if you're going to the club thinking you're going to find certain women, it's not going to happen.
Forget the club, forget the club, the street. Women are the society is built. I could pick any women. This young lady, this Asian lady that looks very whatever. If I pick her up right now, tell her, hey honey, whatever, how you doing? Oh, you're beautiful, blah blah, we should hang out, blah blah. She give him and she would expect me to take her to a nice restaurant the first date.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with that, but look, exactly. There's nothing wrong with that. And if you are not able or capable, that's how she's going to determine how she's going to deal with you, if she's going to go further with you or get to know you or whatnot. She'll go back to the first day and the friend said, man, I told him to take me to, I don't know, pick a restaurant, take me to Mr. Chow, but this guy took her to Chin Chin's. And that's gonna determine if she's want to go further with you, because she's gonna have this conversation with her friends. She was not gonna say, well, I'm gonna get to know him to understand if he's a great person or whatnot. That great person personality, or he's gonna be a good father or a good boyfriend or whatever, it's out of the door, because that man didn't fulfill taking her to Mr. Chow by taking her to Chin Chin's. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So it conditions the next man that come around, because he'll hear from his guy like, man, I picked this girl out, I was trying to treat her, I think she was gonna be my wife, but I took her Chin and she never called me back again. And later on she's like, oh, I don't date men that take me to this and this. And probably he'll have that conversation with his friend. It's now his friends are, oh man, that's what these chicks want, you know what I mean? So these guys work towards picking up girls and taking them to Mr. Chow, taking them to impress. And if they get what they want, they're conditioned, like, oh, okay, so this is what I gotta do. I gotta flash it to make it seem like this, and I get what I want. So you condition these young generation to feel that way. Do you understand what I'm saying? But if you made it cool to be like, hey, to just pick up a girl, and the girl said, nah, it's cool, let's just go anywhere, let's go hang out, let's chill, let's talk, let's get to know, let's eat, whatever, then it becomes cool, because it goes back to the other young men and be like, oh shit, this is how it's supposed to be, or this is how it goes. It's so easy, you don't have to do all of this. Then they kind of feel like they'll be. It goes back
to the value topic that we were talking about. How I think it's a problem, but men assign their value to how much money they make or what type of clout they have or whatever. Women in society, their value is typically assigned to their looks, how desirable they are, and I don't think that's right. I think we need to find what we find valuable in each other from getting to know each other.
But it's so easy for, and I've made this over and over, it's so easy for a man to pick a woman that's ain't got no money, ain't got nothing going on, and maybe not be so damn cute, but he falls in love with him and be with him and do, rather than the other way around. For women, you have to bring either financial value, or he's extremely good looking or some kind of, you know. But for men, we could pick any fucking straight dog from the street and feel like, hey, why you look like, and look like, oh, you know, I want to channel with her, like, you know what I mean? I want her to be my girl. She's cool. I like her, blah blah. But for women, it's totally different, you know. And especially if that table is turned and a successful woman will not pick up no useless guy from the street or get to know him because she feels like she's too good. She feels like, you know, she's woman empowered.
But why would you want to pick up a stray dog from the street?
I don't mean a straight dog, but how do you, I'm just saying that just regular person to talk to with your status. Man, it's easy for a man to pick up a girl from McDonald's and 10 years be his wife and they have beautiful kids and they're together and whatnot. A woman won't do that. No successful woman will pick up a guy from McDonald's and build a family with.
But you assign your own standards. No one's telling anyone to pick up someone from McDonald's. If you want someone that with ambitions, that is a doctor, that is studying, that is a nurse, anything, that's what you determine.
But you're missing my point. Of course, that's what you determine. But there's more women that determine that a successful doctor or somebody who's going to be a doctor won't be walking in the street. They'll be driving a Rolls Royce or be driving a Mercedes. But a man don't think a successful nurse is the only one that'll be driving a Bentley or nothing. A man will think that a successful nurse could be driving or taking a bus.
I don't.
Do you think a woman, come on, you don't think that many women would think that, hey, a successful man will be just riding the bus or be in the gas station?
I don't think men think that about women either, though.
Yes, we do.
I think men could see a woman with a nice car, like, oh, she has something going on. Do you get what I'm saying? I think it's
no, men don't see a girl with a nice car.
I don't think any guys going to the bus stop trying to pick up women.
What do you say?
I don't think guys are going to the bus stop trying to pick up
women. No, of course. I'm not saying guys are going to the bus stop picking up women. But if a guy see a girl that's good looking at the bus stop, he would think twice. Be like, hey, let me have a talk with her. Let me holler at her. But I don't think any successful woman will be driving and see a good looking guy at the bus stop and be like, hey, let me holler at her. Let me holler at him.
Men need to have higher standards and more specific standards, and I think maybe women need to also have more realistic standards.
But women don't have a realistic standard. Women are living in a fantasy world. I'm not saying you, but most women are living in a fantasy world because they were told that, you know, men are the provider. So if you want to...
Do you believe that?
Do I believe men are the provider? I think to some extent, I think so. Men should be... I mean, that's how I was raised. Like, you know, you gotta grind. So the pressure is on men. That's why we do the things, and that's the reason I'm telling you we've been brainwashed by women and society that the pressure is on you. You gotta do this the most as a man.
Who decided that men are the providers? Men are like in power. Yeah. Men rule the world. Men rule our country. Who's deciding that being a provider is like a dominance? Men, you want to be the provider, but when women adopt women decided that, hey, when the door's knocking, you go look at the door, see who's there, because you a man. That's the first thing the woman will tell you. So you start all these subliminal things. You start deciding that you the man. You keep on saying, "Oh, you the man. Go take out the trash," and you reply by you because you are the man. No, like autonomy of yourselves.
Women, you have
like
no autonomy.
You're saying women control everything.
I didn't say women control everything. I said that women are the reason why men. We are so simple. If it was left for men would do the most simplest thing. The man won't care about nothing. Won't care about no nice car. Won't care about nothing. Men do all those things because of what society tells them that, hey, to have a good woman, a woman is going to look at you as successful. He's not going to say that a man is going to look at you as successful. As a woman is going to look at you as successful, give you the stamp because you're doing this and, you know, you're driving this nice car. You got to get this money so you be able to, you know, do this and do that and do that. And that pressure comes of young men and successful as the power of women, and you got to go home and you have to be able to take care of your wife and your kids. You know what I mean? All of that pressure.
I would like to hear some accountability.
What's accountability?
From I'm hearing very one-sided, like women expect this, so we have to do this as a societal pressure because women. But what about men, right? Like you have autonomy of yourself.
Yes,
so
men, we have a bunch of faults.
In order to have a solution, you have to be accountable for how you have, or not you, but men have perpetuated this, and yes, how women affect it. Or
yes, I said men are at fault a certain extent, but I was just saying on a bigger scale, I feel like.
Well, what do you think men should do to change things? What's in their control?
Man, everything is in man control in a certain extent. It's just, I think that.
Because I can sit here and be like, well, everything is just because men do this and men do this, and women are like this, and women dress this way and do this way because that's what men want. Women just want to be loved by men. Women just want attention by men. Women, that's just our nature. Like, we just want to find someone that loves us and commit to us, and we want security, and we want all this stuff, and it's because of men, right? So, and I think it's true, but I'm not going to just say that, oh, because men just like this look of women, so we have to do this.
I think men should give the power to the women as share the power for the, empowered men, the new generation women. I think men are still fighting to be the leader. That's the problem. Men should give up. They should just say, okay, we share. You want to be, lead. I think men should do that, because men are trying to hold on because they don't want to feel like they're losers, because they don't want to feel that they're a woman, or make them feel like, okay. And they want that power too. I think men want that power too. At the same time, they don't want to feel belittled. But I think that men should give up that ego of feeling belittled and just let go of that power and let, hey, we sharing. You go take out the trash. You said, you go check the door. Somebody's knocking. And if men start to do that, I think it will stop all this other nonsense that they feel like they have to be on the front line all the time. Because then they'll feel like, okay, it's shared. Like, they're able to do that too, But now it's a taboo. If you tell the woman, hey, this is a shared power, you go do it too, because you have the same power like me. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
So, and I think that's the only way for us to have it even, for people to start realizing, okay, well,
I believe that everyone has masculine and feminine energy within us.
Of course.
Right? So the masculine energy is the doing, asserting, thinking. Feminine energy is more like receiving, feeling, being in the present, being in the body. And so everyone has to have both elements, right? Because if you're going to do, you're going to work hard, you're going to create. You have to be able to go into your feminine energy to receive.
Correct.
So I think what I'm hearing is that it's imbalanced, right? Like men are too much in their masculine energy, where they have to have all the responsibility, and then women are too much in their feminine energy, where they just want to do nothing and just receive, right?
Correct.
And so I think the solution is individually
the balance,
having a balance within yourself, right? But also feminine energy, you have to be a little bit more in tune with your emotions sometimes and things like that. But that's also men view as weak, and then women the same.
Yeah.
But
men won't view that as weak if women say that that's not weak. All women say that's awesome, that's dope. Then other men will be like, oh, then
I hear a lot of women encouraging men to go to therapy.
Yeah, but it's not enough. Trust me.
I think women have a lot of influence. I agree with that.
Very powerful influence.
But I think
they moved the
women
world.
Are minorities for a reason. Women, it was not always equal. It wasn't, and I think that's it.
Because it wasn't equal, because women give their power away to men, for men to stand in front of them, rather than say we could stand in front ourselves too. That's the reason. And women got comfortable. So why did women have
to fight so hard to have the same opportunities? If it was they gave it away.
Yeah, they gave it away. Then they want to fight for it, but they're fighting for it, not to be equal. They fight for only picking and choosing what they want to fight for. That's what I'm saying. If the balance is given easy, say, hey, okay, you want the balance. Hey, go fetch out there. Go, when the door knocks, you could go look at it when I'm busy, or you could take out the trash. They don't want they want certain things. It's like I said, they want the power, but they don't want the full power as a man. They want the power on particular things that they feel that they need to do, or they feel that makes them.
Well, if it was a woman that was gonna break in, then maybe they would be checking.
Okay.
But if it's another man,
what's that mean? That's what I'm saying. But you're giving your power away. But man doesn't matter if it's a woman or a man that break in.
But do you get what I'm saying?
But you get what I'm saying, though. If you want full equal right to do what the men do, and say that I'm no different from you, I could do exactly what you do. You could do exactly what I do.
I'm not saying that.
No, I'm not saying you are saying that. I'm just saying that in general,
I think
in society.
Women and men are different.
Exactly. So let's keep it like that. If women and men are different, we should accept it. That's why I'm saying that
I agree.
we can have our cake and eat it too, because we can be like, okay, I need you for this, but I don't want to do this when you're this. If you're gonna say no, we all the same, we have to do the same, you got to give me the same right, then let's split the rights. Do it as we both do it. Do it as I do it, and I'll do it as you do it. It doesn't.
I think that's why equal but different is a saying. We're different, but it doesn't mean that you're better than me.
Yeah, we could be different, but we have to share.
Serve different purposes. But
if you share different purposes, it becomes
each other for
of course.
reason,
that's the reason why your forefathers and fathers made it like, hey, man, you the one that gonna take the bullet. You the one that gonna go hunt over there and make sure that your wife and your kids are okay, and make sure you bring in the food. When you go out there, make sure they're safe. When the people come out, you go stand up. You gotta die first. She can't die first because she gotta take care of the kids, and you gotta do this. Do you get the concept? If they put it on the front line, saying that, hey, you and your wife are gonna do the same thing, it's not gonna work, because they're gonna be like, okay, if she go, who's gonna take? Then they have to teach the man, say, you gotta be able to take care of the kid, you gotta breastfeed them, you gotta be able to do this, you gotta it doesn't work like that, because like I said, God didn't make us the same, no matter how. We didn't do it. We didn't decide for this to happen. Men didn't really decide.
I don't think we should be. We're not the same. We're very different.
Exactly.
I think we each serve very important functions independently that are different.
Exactly. That's why you guys are great at what you do, and men should be great at what they do. That's why men are great.
There's a power dynamic of women not being able to do things that they can do.
But what is the power dynamic of men to be able to do things that they can jump in the seat as a woman to do? I'll give you an example. If I was walking with you and I'm bleeding and I'm walking down the street and I'm missing, and I'm walking down the street and I'm calling for help, a lot of people, men and women, will look at me twice and zoom by me. If you walking down the street and you bleeding and you're calling for help, men and women will stop for you to get in the car and help you or talk to you and see what's going on.
Can we agree that men are mostly the predators in our society? At least I can't speak for other countries, but in this country, women are fearing men for a reason. So that's why men are the ones to protect, because men are the ones that are creating the danger.
Okay, so we can balance. There's no balance, then there can't be an equal balance. It's impossible to have an equal balance if what you're telling me is true. That you just told me that men in society, men are the predators, and men gotta
not only
a good amount, most majority. So the fear are in men, so men gotta protect men and women at the same time. But women can protect. Women gotta let men protect them. So there's not a balance.
Women can protect,
but
to a certain degree.
Exactly,
having
certain degree, but it's not even. It's not the same. So if those attributes and everything you're saying is true, it's still not balanced. It could never be balanced. That means that you have to look for men. This is how men has to be, and this is how women gotta be. This is a position that women play. This is a position, man. It could never be equal then.
But I do think bad things happen, scary things happen, there's danger all around, but it's also, we're advanced in a society where not every single day I'm going to need protection. I don't have a man guarding me 24/7 and I'm able to go through life fine. No, not everyone has that, can say that, right? But it's a different, we've evolved from being hunting and gathering and warriors and this, that, and the other. I think there's a innate thing that stayed the same, but the value is changed.
So let me ask you, do you believe that men should be a provider and protector at all times, at all costs? It's taking you too long, and it means that the argument of what you said, what I'm trying to get to is, you know, if it was
case by case.
See, that's what I'm talking about. If it's that,
I think women can provide.
I didn't say women can provide. A dog could provide if you train it to provide. I'm just asking you a question that, do you think in society, and do you feel, for your own belief, that you feel like a man should be a provider, a caretaker, and make sure everything is good for a woman and the family all the time?
Yes.
Okay, then I rest my case. So in that aspect, there's nothing that could be even about it. If you as a woman feel so strongly about that, am I making sense?
Yes.
Oh
however,
it doesn't mean that there's
saying,
you're saying, see, that's what I'm saying, you want your cake and eat it too at the same time.
No. What I'm saying is, you are all of these things, right? But somehow women have the power. Somehow you guys are at fault.
Women have the power because women give the drive. Women have the power because we are the slave. Like you just said, we are supposed to be the provider. We are supposed to take care of the family. We are supposed to lead. But how's it calibrate? Because you just said that. Okay, so if it's calibrated, then we will make. Do you think that man wants to be the provider and the hustler to go take care of the family if they don't need to? You think a man wants to go to work and bust his ass and bring in the family and make sure that, oh, my kids are fed, my wife is taking, her nails are done, her hair is did, she's able to go to shop.
Not everyone lives like that.
But I'm not saying everybody lives like that, but I'm just saying that that's what women look forward for. That's what society, that's what generation and generation people demand of men to be doing, correct? Nobody demand anything lower. If you demand any lower, they'll be like, oh, well, he's not a man. I want my man got to do this. I want my man got to be able to, right? You taking too long. Whenever you taking too long to answer a question, I know that you don't have.
Say
no, it's
will
not.
Be either disagreed with or
whatever
disregarded.
This is simple. There's either a yay or no. There's no in between.
It's complexity.
It's complexity.
Everyone's different. I'm not.
The only complexity.
I don't live my life to be. I'm a person, right? I have my own personal goals. So I'm not. What if I never find a man? I can't.
What do you mean you never find a man?
What if I never find a man to marry and provide for me? And
then
whatever,
you have to do it yourself, and that's what most women have to do.
That's what we have to do, regardless.
Exactly. That's what most women will have to do.
People have to do.
Yeah, but people are not that. Just like I asked you that question, you demanded yes. That's what a man's supposed to do.
Be ideal.
You feel highly strongly.
Be ideal.
Forget ideally. That's how you feel highly strongly that a man's supposed. That's how you were raised. That's how you.
That's not how I was raised. Though I was raised. The women were the breadwinners in my family.
So, no, I didn't say the women wasn't the.
Were the providers in a sense, protectors. My father definitely was a protector, but it's like my mom. Single mom, she did it on her own. My grandma,
that's what I'm saying.
She was working. My grandpa
she was single mom.
My grandpa was sick. He had, my grandma. What I've witnessed was her working, him at home, him cooking, him being more domesticated. I think it's a case by case thing.
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. That's only happened because your mom was a single woman. But your mom didn't wish for that to happen. Your mom wanted the opposite of what you demand to me that you want a man to be. And if she didn't get it, she has to do what she has to do. We all human beings, we're survivors. If we're put in the corner, we're gonna survive. We're gonna figure a way to come out. But when we when we are not put in the corner, our normal instinct is what we do on the daily. That's what I'm saying. What you were saying that women, it was, of course. Just like men, I'm a single man. I take care of my own damn kids back and forth and do whatever I have to do. Which is sometimes it's not normal, because mostly the women are the single men, the women that take the opportunity of the kids and do whatever they have to do. But you could find one of me out there every once in a while, whatnot, if they're put to the test and they have to do what they have to do and they're able to handle it. But on the normal circumstances, that's not the case. You understand what I'm saying? So if we are to put even as women supposed to do the same as men, it's supposed to be a middle 50-50.
I think what needs to be normalized is it's not 50-50, it's not 110.
Mm-hmm.
Each person is different, each situation is different, each couple is different. My personal family, what I've perceived, it wasn't how you're saying. That wasn't the dynamic. So I think it's too much pressure as well. Like, I understand it overall, like, men are protectors, that's their innate. I agree with you. But I think each household is different, and that needs to be accepted, that sometimes the woman can be more of a provider, the man can be more domesticated, or it can be more equal, or whatever. But whatever that is, it's up to each individual person. I don't think there's anything wrong with people. I don't think there should be this harsh standard of everyone has to live this certain way, because you seem to resent it almost, that is your role.
I don't resent it, because I love that role. I don't care. I'm able to play both roles. Like I said, I'm daddy and mommy at the same time, and I love it. I never knew that I had the power to do that until I was put in that position, and I was like, this is fucking awesome. This, like, see me wearing this little heifer shit every day. It's exciting for me. But I'm saying that that's just me. But I'm not counting the 1, the 2, the 3, or 4. I'm talking about as a whole. That's not the reality. It doesn't happen. And to make it norm, we got to promote the norm. Just like you were talking about how women present themselves and how, say, men, and you said I'm going to be in defense. And I think that, well, more women like you, if you're going to talk about it, you're talking about it with me individually. You should start a club and have more women talk about it and more women promote it, and maybe other people will jump on. They will change the narrative of men, of how they do things, and maybe men could have their club of trying to be Mr. Right or whatever, and it will change. But right now, people are just whispering about it, but nobody's really going on the forefront and trying to do it.
I do think, I agree, and I think leading by example is very important. And I think we are just observers.
Correct.
So if more people, and that is what I do want to do, I want to lead by example. And
so what are we going to call the club?
I don't know.
The Get Right Ladies Club. What are we gonna call it? The movement.
I think the club should be men and women together that want to be the best version of themselves.
The club, men and women together. But it doesn't work. I think that the club should be independent. Women to calibrate with themselves, then men to do it, then they come together. Because I think women need to talk it out with themselves and figure out, just like in relationship, like you said, you got to be able to go independently and find yourself to be strong. Then you add people, because then you actually know exactly where you stand and how you want to do it. So if other people come along, you're able to, you know what I mean? I think if men start their own and keep on pushing, and saying the women start to keep on pushing, and they come together and they form their own club together, I think it'll be, it'll be on the same voice. You know what I mean? What do you think?
I do agree.
You do agree?
I do
Well,
agree.
for once, you agree something, she agrees.
I agree with certain things, aspects of everything you're saying.
She agree.
It's just, I mean,
Just sad.
I think it's still separation. I think women having a sisterhood is important, and men having a brotherhood is important,
very important.
and then coming together. But I also think viewing us as we're all in it together is also important. Like,
Yes.
even like me, I love my guy friends,
Yeah.
right? Because it's able to put it in perspective that you are very different, but at the same time, we have this mutual respect, love, and care for each other. And we can have conversations about anything. Like, it's not so I'm this way because I'm a woman, and you're like, we are able to find this common ground and relate to each other.
Yeah.
And I
But
think that's important. And I think it'll make it easier for us to not, what's the word? Like, I feel like men can objectify women, and women can almost view men as like just a source of money or what they can provide. But I think when you can relate to each other, then you just have that connection, and it's not.
Yeah, that's
Women are here to serve this purpose. Men are here to serve this purpose. It's deeper than that.
Yeah, it's way deeper. But the only way you men or women could come to the comfort of feeling that pressure off is, meeting more women that make them feel that way, or meeting more men that make them feel that way, over and over. Then, certain, like I said, the condition of being a certain way will change, because you're like, oh, I didn't have to even do all of that. These days I could just say, we could have conversation like these, we could, we could talk to each other, we could understand each other and go, so the more often this kind of cycle of no pressure, understanding from both sides, the more it's gonna spread more. It's like, people feel
my philosophy, how I navigate things like this is, I feel like we're all connected, and it's able to, it helps me have compassion for a random homeless man on the street. I still feel like we're connected in the same way. We're born, we bleed the same blood.
1000%.
And you and I, very different people, very different backgrounds, very different beliefs, but I'm able to connect with you because you are just
Human
like
being.
me at the end of the day.
Of course, and that's great. But certain people and certain hardship make certain people, their mind think different from how you thinking right now. And the reason why you feeling that way, and the reason why you talking that way, is because of how you were brought up and your environment, and whoever told you whatever they told you. You know what I mean? But other people, the way they're raised and what trauma that affect them, make them react the way you see them. You know what I mean? And sometimes it is what it is, but sometimes that change when they meet people like you. And they start realizing that, oh shit, it's not all that bad. It's not all this, I could be like this, or I could be like this, and it should be okay. But what they don't know, they can't change, because that's all they know. I ran into a lot of people like that sometimes, and they'll be so surprised, and after they speak to me, or what, they'll be like, oh shit, man, you a cool motherfucker, man. I didn't know you were like this, I just assumed you Mr. All-Star. And vice versa.
Everyone's very guarded.
Yeah, because of society. That's why I'm saying that it's so easy for us to say, you have the strength to do this.
Just
what
looking
you do,
at me, you probably had a way different perception of me than after this conversation.
Of course, 100%. 100%. 100% I did.
But that's what I've been trying to do in my life. Like, when I'm interacting with people, honestly, it's hard for me to just have like very surface level interactions.
Mhm.
Like if that's what it is, that's what it is. But if I'm gonna connect with someone, it's just natural to me to want to connect with them on a deeper, genuine level. It doesn't have to be
Mhm.
this deep, but
We
but
too deep.
is it, no,
Uh,
no,
I'm being
I
sarcastic.
don't think so.
Uh-huh. Yeah. That's
But no one makes that effort. I think.
Yeah, but no one makes the effort because people are scared. People are scared
It's true.
to receive whatever they think they're going to receive from the other person.
Mhm.
You know, rather than going because they've been traumatized a lot from other things that it keeps them handicapped to be open up. You know, and once
I am
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
this is out of my comfort zone.
Yeah.
I'm typically very closed off. But I realize that I do think a part of my purpose is to connect with people and to spread a different perspective in people and just make people help them.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
but I think naturally it's hard for me to break through that barrier of, okay, you are just a girl, you look the way you look, you're a model, you're this, you're that. And it felt like I had to almost like try to convince someone otherwise, which I'm not in the business of doing.
Correct.
But I noticed that once I just started being me and not really caring if someone understood me or not, then that's how I would get through to people more.
Yeah, and that's good. And I think you should, as a young adult, I think you should think that way and keep on growing that way, because that brings a lot of knowledge for you, because you don't block and limit yourself from learning and knowing and being able to interact with different people, you know. So it's a great thing. It's a great thing sometimes, you know, even though the world is scary and there are crazy people out here, you know, but being able to have an open mind is a good thing, because sometimes it helps your trauma from the past, because you're able to relearn things that you did not know.
And that's another thing, to tie it back into what we were talking about earlier. Like, I think nowadays we kind of continue this generational trauma. Like, people didn't have a parent in their lives, and then they have this abandonment issue or whatever it is, but then they just continue the cycle and nobody is healing. Everyone is just continuing the same patterns. And what I think I'm here in my personal life is to break certain patterns and heal. And I want to, you know, when I have kids, give them a way different life and a
way different mentality
and just a solid foundation. And a lot of us don't have that, and that's okay, but it's up to us to change that. And that's why I think it's on every individual. But I think what's perpetuated and what's promoted is the opposite, because that's what is profitable. But being strong and taking it upon yourself to want to create better for yourself instead of taking the easy route. I think more and more people are doing that.
Yeah, more people are doing that, and I think that more people should promote themselves doing that, and that'll make it easy for other people to join to want to do that. But there's a lot of people that are doing that, but are not showing that so much, that it's not giving the strength.
Most of the people that are doing that aren't showing
that. And it's giving the evil people more
the spotlight.
The spotlight. And you know, that's what I'm saying, that for us to even have this conversation, for you to feel that way, you know, you need to forward it and actually do something about it. And like I said, have that club and promote it on social media and have girls talking about it, and it becomes the cool thing. Because like I said, the young generation, most of the things that you guys want to do is to be cool. And if society said it's cool, you guys will join up to do it. You know what I mean? And most of the good things society is telling you, or your peers are telling you, it's not cool. So even if you know, even if it's the right thing to do, you're not doing it because it's not the cool thing.
I honestly think that a lot of people don't have a choice, because I feel like in my generation, like, anxiety ADHD, like a lot of things are very prevalent because we're in this digital age, and it's so much media all the time, so much easily distractions. So we almost, a lot of people my age have like ADHD, anxiety, depression, due to all of these things. And then I think kind of we're forced to have to heal in some way.
That's what I'm saying. The people that could change that is your people. And the only way your people are going to change is to put out good energy out there to make it cool and start a trend, because that's what the generation, that's what they do.